We've essentially finished off with the internal cleaning of the networking switch, at which point we now move on to cleaning the outside. So an external clean, we do a fairly quick and simple outside cleaning at a switch. First step you want to obviously go through is you want to put the chassis back on, the top cap back on, because you do not want to spray the inside of the switch in any way, shape, or form. So first thing you do is we essentially put it right back on. What I generally like to do as well is I like to put the screws back on. Again, for the general purpose of this demonstration, we're just going to leave the screws at this one time, but you always want to put the screws back on. Make sure this thing's back to the exact same way you picked it up from the pallet with. So it's all sealed properly, because you don't want water or liquids to get anywhere through the switch from any of the cracks, right? So once you get it to that stage and the thing is all packed up and screwed up and ready to go, we obviously have a very simple cleaning solution here that's essentially created. It's non-hazardous. Doesn't have any sort of bad chemicals in there. It's basically water and soap, more or less. And what this chemical will do is it'll go on top of the switch. You kind of just give it a nice little wash, almost, if you will, like a nice little clean. It's almost like a windshield spray, if you will, but it's for networking switches. Because we don't go through the painting process, we're not going to really care about that. So we're just going to simply spray this and clean her up and make sure she looks a little bit shinier than she did before. So all you do is you want to put a little bit of this material on. One thing you want to be careful with is you don't want to get this material in and spray it everywhere, especially where you have the vents, because you don't want, again, water to go through into the switch. So you don't want to spray this all the way in the back where you have the vents. You don't want to do it on the sides where you have the vents, and you sure as hell don't want to do it in the front where you have all the ports. The one typical place we always spray the material on is at the very top of the switch here, because there's absolutely no way anything would go into the switch from here, because it's all sealed. It's a single piece of steel at this point in time. So all you do is you just take your little cloth, your microfiber cloth, and you simply go over the switch and you give her a good wipe down. Again, this is strictly for the purpose of getting any of the extra dust or dirt off of this thing, so she just kind of looks nice and clean and shiny. And then at that point in time, I kind of just go off to the sides a little bit and get the sides as well, because we're not spraying water in here, obviously, so we're not worried. And then I just do the same thing up front, give her a good little clean, and maybe even flip her over, give her a nice little clean here as well.
Again, make sure not to spray the back side, just use the wet cloth.
Sides or the front, because that's where you have vents that would go into the switch where the motherboard is, and you don't want to get any of those.
So when you clean the top, your cloth is already wet, and you can use that to clean the sides and the back.
At this point in time, as you can see, this is a switch that's been both internally as well as externally cleaned, and it's ready to go back up in your inventory once it's all been tested and ready to go, and it's now ready for resale to your wholesale customers. And that's about it. That covers this video.